Dave Rubin is continuing his streak of getting progressively more and more ridiculous. Here he is responding to an interview that Trump recently did. Let's see what he has to say.
I gotta tell you guys, I miss him. I know I'm not going to get invited to Hollywood parties. That's all right. That's all right. We host parties here of dissidents and radicals. I miss him. And actually everything he said there, and yes, is he a little more bronze than usual? And the hair is like a little bit crazier. And the way he speaks is still as stilted and strange, the patterns, all that stuff. But man, basically in that minute and a half clip, he told you the truth. Like, it was the truth. The media would have went bananas if he had fallen down the steps 3 times, right? And they pretty much ignored it or excused it or said it had something to do with the wind. But the line, I've never seen too much wind. It can get a little windy. And then I think he said, not enough to knock you down, something like that. Like, he's closer to telling the truth than anyone we have in politics right now. And that is just a bizarre reality. It is, I think it is quite possible that within our lifetimes, we will not see anyone in a political sense, at least not right now, let's say for the next 10 years, because Lord only knows which way the whole world is going to go, that will be remotely as truthful as him, right? Like, it's not like they were discussing something so important right there, but like, for all the craziness about the way he speaks, like, the truth is sort of under it. Versus what everyone else in politics does, which is try to pretend they're a great person and then they just lie and bullshit to you. He also made a point that, 79 is not that old. It actually isn't.
Somehow that last part was the most ridiculous thing he said of everything. 79 is not that old. No, it actually isn't. Okay, anyway, we don't need to get into that too much. He's such a petty, sycophantic loser. Listen, I actually despise this new thing where everybody accuses everybody else who's some sort of, YouTuber, pundit, whatever, of being a grifter. I'm actually really annoyed by that because it's just lazy and is thrown out there whenever you just disagree with somebody or don't like somebody. But I have to say, because I have personal experience with Dave Rubin, I know beyond any doubt he indeed is a grifter. He's literally doing this for the money. Because I've had conversations with him. This was back when he worked with TYT and he was nominally on the left. He was the only person in this business who said to me, like, so what's your end goal? TV show? You want to get on TV? And I remember thinking, like, no, Dave, I like what I'm doing for what it is. Like, the day-to-day stuff, the dotting the I's, the crossing the T's, the picking the stories, the reporting the stories, I enjoy that for what it is. There is no, I need to get from point A to point B. In his mind, he's super careerist. I want to get from point A to point B. He's one of these guys, he didn't care how he got famous, he just wanted to get famous. And so he found a lane. He found a niche. And his thing was, I'm the guy who left the left. But see, the problem is, there was some novelty there when it was like, oh, I'm still a liberal, but I'm the world's last liberal, and I just happen to agree with Republicans on everything. He was very useful to the right when that was his lane. But now, the transitionary phase is done, and now he's just openly like a conservative pundit. But he's not as good as the other conservative pundits. Now, I disagree with all of them. I disagree with Ben Shapiro. I disagree with Steven Crowder. I think they're all wrong about virtually everything. But there's more entertainment value among the Shapiros and the Crowders than there ever is among Rubin, and he's just bad at this. So when he says the stuff he says there, you're not even trying, dude. Trump's the most truthful president or whatever or something, and we're ever going to see. Okay, there was an analysis from the Washington Post. Now, granted, hold your fire. I'm going to concede some stuff in a second. I'm not the biggest fan of the Washington Post by any stretch of the imagination. But they calculated over his 4 years in office how many lies he told. They said 30,573 lies over a 4-year period. Now, I grant you, the Washington Post is questionable. I'm sure they included plenty of things on the list of lies that indeed weren't lies. So let's be beyond kind and beyond fair. Let's be as charitable as humanly possible. And let's say, cut it in half. Trump only lied about 15,200 and some odd times. That's still 15,000 lies over a 4-year period. The guy is a colossal liar. He's a notorious and infamous liar. How do you not see that? But that's the thing. When Rubin talks, he doesn't care about like the truth value of what he's saying. He's just talking. He's just trying to now rep the lane of like, I'm a conservative commentator, guys. And he ends up looking ridiculous and saying shit like this. My favorite Trump lie of all time actually has very little to do with policy, even though the policy ones are, told plenty of terrible lies there. But it has to do with, he used to pretend, before, when he was younger, he used to pretend to be his own publicist. And he called himself John Miller. There was John Miller one time, and I think John Barron another time. And he would call all like the stupid, tabloid magazines, and he would say, oh, Donald Trump is dating the hottest, most amazing celebrity women, and they all really love him. And so then some of the tabloids would run the stories. And people found out way later that this is Trump calling, pretending he's his own publicist, and telling people, oh, women love Trump. They adore Trump. You should write a story about that. And there was one reporter who recorded him when he did one of these calls. The idiot didn't even change his voice. He sounds like Donald Trump because it is Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is calling a tabloid saying, women really love Donald Trump, and I've seen him with the women, and the women are so attracted to him, and Madonna's attracted to him, and this one's attracted to him, and that one's attracted to him, and you should really write a story about it. And so during the 2016 campaign, some media outlet got a hold of it and ran it, and Trump was like, that's not me. We hear your voice. It is on the audio recording. This isn't hard. It's not me. Fake news. He's such a brazen liar that he even does lies like that when he's stone cold caught dead. That's not me. Jesus Christ, Dave Rubin. Up your propaganda skills, dog. This is the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. You're so not talented at this. Jesus, man. It's just... the guy believes in nothing. He believes in nothing. He found his lane. He cashed in. Now he's coasting. And he falls apart as he's coasting. He's holding the thing together with bubble gum and duct tape because he's just terrible at this job.